Hi, this is Graphically Alex coming at you with all things fat related. If that's something that interests you, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. And today, we're just going to go through Fat Logic today. I haven't visited Fat Logic in forever. I'm just going to kind of scroll down and look at anything that interests me. I did pass through it a little bit earlier today, and I saw some things that I did want to talk about. I don't really go on Fat Logic by myself, hardly at all, but we're going to go ahead and do it. So let's just go. So this one. I hate when I hate when people try to say skinny shimming. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I think we're getting into a little bit of migraine again. Apparently it's going to be a weekly thing. But it doesn't seem as bad today, but we're back. I hate when people try to say skinny shaming is worse than fat shaming. Skinny is the new norm, so therefore you are already the norm if you're skinny. I think that it's really weird to say that. I think a lot of people within the E followed by letter D world, the toxic ritualistic, etc., you have to remember media is reality for them, especially if it's severe. They can't see the difference between media and reality. Media is reality. And you can see them sometimes struggle even with fiction. So with works of fiction, they will say that that is reality. And it's not. So I think social media being reality, it's kind of an issue for a lot of people, but when you have these mental health issues, it can, especially at a severe level, it can be beyond. So to believe that being skinny is the norm in the United States is wild in 2026. I will just say that. But I guess because celebrities care about it and that kind of thing, everybody does. So let's continue. So this is one I wanted to react to. So somebody says, is it really this bad out there for fat people, or is this person projecting their insecurities? There's something very sinister about a society that demonizes fat people and demands that they do whatever it takes to lose weight, and also considers fat people exercising somehow an ideal target for ridicule. Fat people are demanded to exercise, and unless they are rich, they often have no option but to do so in public. And when they do, they are punished, especially in a surveillance state, when anyone feels entitled to film anyone else and post it online to make fun of them without their consent. You go swimming, whale jokes. You go jogging and aren't very fast or are short of breath, mockery. You fall down, it gets clipped and considered peak comedy. Dancing, condescension at best and mockery at worst. Go to a state park, trampoline park, or any physical activity popular among kids. You get ableist and are PDF jokes, which is particularly vile. People are generally a bit more positive about a traditional gym, but working out at a gym is, for a lot of people, the least enjoyable or sustainable form of exercise there is. Oh my gosh. Let me just react to this piece by piece on this first page. So again, this is somebody that I feel like there's really two main issues within a lot of people that are very big. And one is they believe that a thin person is never ridiculed. So they believe that ridicule is not something that happens to literally everybody in the world, but it does all the time. And at times it actually gets worse if you're more popular, because then people feel like they're punching up. So it's actually probably not as bad. Which that's something that a fat person does not want to hear. They hate it when you say that, because it completely undermines all of their belief system, everything within this toxic ritualistic construct in their head. If you were to say that, but it's like, what if I told you that the more popular you get, the more you're made fun of? What if I told you the more eyes that are on you, the more rejected you are? What if I told you that the better you look, the more scrutiny you face if you don't act appropriately, or the more that people feel you owe them? They don't want to hear that. they have this idea in their head that thin people live with zero expectation, which is not at all true. And oftentimes, like, the only people that probably won't hear something about running are people who are in really, really great shape. But even then, it's like, how much do people really care about it? You know what I mean? I don't think people care that much. I think exercise is just not valued in the United States. And so it's just kind of rare to see somebody exercising, period. And so I feel like that could be kind of a shock anyways, and then it could be a double shock. But it could be that kind of thing where somebody's like, oh, even a super fat person is exercising and I'm not, so they feel weird about it or something, or they're jealous, or just weird. People are just weird, you know? But this is like, I think the part of it that's so bizarre is this idea that weight is the most important piece of this, or your size is the most important piece of this. Like, it's not. It really isn't. People are just, I don't know. It's like a double-edged sword, right? So in the United States in particular, we do have a supportive culture, especially in terms of like entrepreneurship or dreams, goals, etc. But it's kind of like we romanticize striving for it. If you have it, then you're bad. So it's that kind of thing. And people don't understand that. They want you to strive, but never actually get there. Because if you actually get there, then they want to tear you down. It's that kind of thing. So I think people just don't understand the kind of bait and switch. And you have to honestly just not care. If people are being nasty to you as a fat person because you're exercising, you have to just deal with it. It's not an excuse not to take care of yourself. Second of all, it's probably really overly exaggerated. There's probably going to be hardly anybody that says anything, but even at its face, even if you were constantly made fun of every time you exercised for the rest of your life, does that mean that you shouldn't? No. So therefore, it's not something that should even be in your equation. It's not even something that should be considered, period. Zero consideration. Because this idea that we can live through life without criticism is nothing other than a fantasy. It is a fantasy, a delusion. And I don't know where that came from. I don't know why people think that that's possible. I don't understand. It has never been true my entire life. Everything I've done has faced criticism from the day I was born till today. Why would I expect anything different? And I don't know. I don't know anybody that lives without criticism. I just don't. I don't think that it happens. So I think it's just a Lulu. Anyways, okay. So demanded to exercise is a farce. So they need to pick one. Are you being made fun of or shamed for exercising, or are you being demanded to? That's not really, both are not true at once. I actually am more on the side that there's probably slightly more stigma, but it's because health and healthy habits and these kind of things are stigmatized in the United States. So, oh my gosh, you have time for that? Well, it must be nice to have that. That's what you're going to get. People in the US don't value health. So if you stand against that, you're going to face scrutiny. And that's honestly at whatever size you're at. So you need to just get over it. And you need to grow up. I'm sure this person is probably at the very least deep in their 20s, if not deep in their 30s. Grow up. As an adult, you don't need constant reinforcement and support from every single person to be yourself. I mean, that's a teenager. That's teenage. Get over it. Okay. So let's see the next sign. And to be clear, I don't think fat people should have to be on a diet or workout plan. See, of course, to be worthy of respect, but especially when it is expected by our society, at the very effing least, we shouldn't be punished for trying. Tough shit. There are bitches in the world. There are mean people. People are mean. Life isn't fair. Blah, blah, blah. Grow up. People are bitchy. The peanut gallery is going to peanut gallery. But it's going to happen to you whether you're thin or fat. So why are you going to be fat and have all these physical issues on top of the peanut gallery that's going to be there no matter what? So do you want peanut gallery and physical health issues that are preventable and fixable? Or do you want peanut gallery and those health issues gone? It's a stupid thing. So, hashtag I personally and many people I know are afraid to exercise. You're afraid to exercise because you have E fall by letter D. Let's be very clear about that. Let's be so clear, because I know you face so much criticism for overdoing it and for being big too. So you're choosing what criticism to listen to. It's a bias you have. We're not playing that game. Because of a fear of being mocked, exploited, or you-know-whatted. Dumb. It's because of E fall by letter D. You're full of it. Context, rant because I had the idea to get a trampoline park membership to get more exercise, but the knowledge that they're full of kids who haven't yet grown a conscience and have unlimited internet access gives me pause. I'm just tired, man. I literally am trying to do the thing that everyone says I should. Fat acceptance, fat phobia. So you're afraid of kids as an adult. Like, I can't. I cannot. I really cannot. I can't. What the hell is wrong with people? Like, seriously. Gosh. This attitude should be shamed. I'm sorry. This should be. This is loser. It's giving loser. I understand if you just don't want to be around people. I totally get that because I'm very introverted myself and it's just kind of exhausting. And so to me, a trampoline park, there's just a lot of noise. There's a lot of stuff going on. It wouldn't be something I'm personally interested in, but it's something that I can be an adult and take accountability for a choice. I don't want to do this because of how I am. It's not the fault of the trampoline park. It's not the fault of the kids. It's not anybody else's problem. I just personally don't like it. It's not society's fault. It's just not my personal taste. It's not that I wouldn't do it at one point or another. It's just I couldn't see myself doing that as a routine because it's just a whole lot of noise and stuff that I'm not interested in. That's just me personally. I like to exercise by myself. I am introverted. I like to have cringy music or listening to a YouTube video or something and just kind of do it myself. I was never a team sports person. I don't really enjoy group activity as far as exercise. I just don't. I don't even see myself ever having a trainer. I like to be by myself, but that is me. And you do you. But if the gym is crowded or if there's people in the gym, I'm not going to not go. Stupid. Anyways, just say you don't want to go. Just say you're lazy and say you don't want to go. Or say you're scared because you have E followed by letter D. Stop with the lies. Okay. Yes, the dreaded blank mode. Health doesn't have a look or a size. There are people who are 250 pounds and are so malnourished that their body is in carvation mode. I'm going to steal that from Robin. But they get refused care a lot because people literally don't believe them. Malnourishment exists, but that mode doesn't exist. That's not really real unless if you're like totally underweight. And even then, you're not going to not burn calories. That's not the way it works. You just might have some inefficiency within your metabolism, but it's not, I don't know, like the way they talk about it, they act like you could have like, you could be not consuming and still upsize. That's not going to happen. That's just not true. It's just you feel very hungry, basically. So, anyways, it's just you can be malnourished though. Malnourished at any size. Maybe you can just ignore these comments and enjoy the summer like anyone else. Oh my gosh, here we go. Hello, it's summer, which means if you're queer, especially queer men, your feed might start to include suggestions, jokes, etc. about summer bodies, pride bodies, and all that. Giving our time and attention to those ideals is a guaranteed way to have a shitty summer. A thread. Oh my gosh. Or you could just not compare yourself to everybody all the time and just like stay in your lane. You could just be supportive. You could just enjoy somebody else looking good. Just be like, oh, he's really handsome. You could be like that. You could not make everything about yourself, basically. I know that's like a crazy concept, but you could do that. You could also, like I said, just enjoy somebody else looking good. Basically, just be like, oh, they look nice. But as far as suggestions, jokes, etc., like, let people do what they want to do. You don't have to do anything. So I don't know why there is this, like, idea that I guess I do know it's E followed by letter D. But it's this idea that if somebody else is doing something, then you have to do something. But then if you don't do what they're doing, then you have to feel horrible about it. And it's like, no, rejected, denied. I'm going to do what I'm doing. I have my own goals. I have my own life. I have my own body. Just because I'm a gay male doesn't mean that I exist in a collective bodies of gay males. Like, I am an individual. I have my own identity. Thank you very much. I have my own goals, my own body, separate. So what they're doing, it doesn't affect what I'm doing, and vice versa. And I'm not in competition. Here are some things that are usually helpful for me during this time. 1, remind ourselves that these ideals of thinness, abs, etc. are ideals of absence. Absence of pleasure, flesh, creativity, abundance, fun, liberation, and so much more. What the hell? Super cope. Extreme cope. This is like, I don't even know. Why are you even saying this? Why are you even saying this to anybody else? Ideals of absence. Like, what journal did you pull that out of? What journal entry did you take that from? because that sounds like an attempt to be deep. That is just not happening. Gosh, it's not deep at all. All it is I don't want to put in the work, but I want the glory. Well, that's BS. You don't have to put in the work. You can put in the work, especially if it's purely vanity. So if your health isn't involved, it is up to you. It's up to you. Like I said, I really think just have your own standard. I don't know why that's so hard. I mean, I do know because it goes against the zombie horde mindset, but you just have to have your own standards, and then it's not that big of a deal. 2, seek out art, books, and follow accounts that celebrate fatness. Recognize that anti-fatness is a racist construction, is pervasive, and while impacts everyone, especially impacts fat people. I am so sick of this like pseudo-political BS at this point. Like, I literally cannot handle it. Like, what the hell is wrong with people? Why can't they just say, I am too lazy to do it. I don't care. I don't want to do it. So I'm not going to do it. Why does everything have to be, this is a racist construction, and this is this, and this is that, and whoop-de-woo, and da-da-da-da-da? Why does everything have to be like that? Why can't you just make a decision for yourself? It's like they cannot handle any accountability. It drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. Like, oh my gosh. 3, notice where our dominant identities might cloud our understanding of what others are experiencing this season. Thin people, ponder how we can make shifts within ourselves and in our communities to move towards fat positivity. Name anti-fatness when we see it this summer. For what? This is getting into like, it's like pseudo-religious too. So it's pseudo-political, pseudo-religious. What does naming it do? Is that like an incantation or something? Does that cast a spell? What is the point? For what? You know, this is where I get into get a life territory. This is like where you need to get a life. This is ridiculous. Like, imagine sitting all summer navel gazing about this. This is what the TR does to people. This is what E-Fall by Letter D does. It's like you're going to let it rob your whole summer because you're going to sit there and reflect on this, on these shifts in ourselves about anti-fatness. Why? You know, I wish I could just ask this person, why should I? I guarantee you there would not really be an answer. There really wouldn't. 4, distress tolerance when we're reminded of the anti-fatness reduction and compulsivity that summer bodies and pride bodies are code for. We often can't think ourselves out of this distress. Sometimes it just sucks. What? Distress tolerance? What? Like, why can't you just have an emotion? Why does it have to have all these cringy terms? Why can't you just be like, just get mad if somebody's an asshole to you? That would be my advice. Somebody's an asshole, just feel angry about it. Let yourself be mad at them. You know, stop suppressing everything and then stop like overly intellectualizing every single emotion. This is just ridiculous. This is extremely obsessive. Extremely obsessive. Because oftentimes too, like when we don't suppress emotions, we can just kind of blast through them. You can just like feel it and move on. You just like, oh, gosh, that guy was an asshole. And then you just move on. It's so much better. And people used to just know how to do that. Now it's like distress tolerance when we're reminded of anti-fatness. It's like, what? How is that helpful? What is the point? 5, eat things many, many, many times a day and night. There you have it. 6, unfollow every single muscle gay. They don't need our attention. Do you see what I mean? About the whole like not wanting to support people that are successful. Exactly what I'm talking about. Be gentle with ourselves. Oh, of course. But don't ever be gentle with anyone else. Don't ever give anybody else grace. Just give it all to yourself. Because I'm sure you are so harsh with yourself. Please. It makes sense that we'd be impacted by these messages surrounding bodies, queerness, anti-fatness, and ableism. We'll never be completely unhindered by all this, and we get to a part of unlearning and liberation for ourselves and future generations. I don't know. This is the pseudo-religiousness again that I just don't understand. It's like I don't think some people don't understand, like religion is supposed to get you somewhere. It's supposed to be like a compass or a map or something. This is like the religious dogma and rules with zero direction. So it's very odd to see this. It's like, what is this? What is the point? And they might say, well, the point is like emotions and da-da-da. And it's like, emotions change all the time. You're going to be in an endless catacomb. Like, you don't base everything on emotion. It doesn't mean emotions don't matter. It doesn't mean that emotions aren't healthy or a part of information. Really, they give us information. But it does mean like you shouldn't frame your whole life around them because they change all the time. Emotions are like clouds in the sky. And if you're always chasing them, you're going to chase them forever. It's like chasing a shadow. It's just a waste of time, you know? I don't know. I used to do that when I was young, but I learned pretty fast that it doesn't get you anywhere. So I'm just telling you guys that now, like, if you only live for emotion, or if your whole like philosophy is about your feelings, you're not going to get anywhere with it. Because it's like, well, I feel confident today, so I'm going to be confident today. But then the hour changes and now I feel unconfident. So now I guess I'm going to go home and stop. But now I'm bored, so now I need to go out again. But now I'm sad, so I need to go cry. Like, you see, it's like it just changes all the time. Like, sometimes you have to just like push past it. You know, like if I based my entire activism on my emotions, I wouldn't have lasted this long. I wouldn't have. If I based my downsizing journey on my emotions, I would not have lasted. It's impossible. So again, that doesn't mean I suppressed them. I didn't. I massively expressed my emotions. I still do all the time, but it doesn't determine the direction of my life. Like, you gotta be balanced. You know? Like, emotions are a thing in the moment. Sentiments can last longer. So that can be like, well, I really don't like this person. You know, if that's something where it's like you realize that's a consistent thing where you really don't like them. then you can make more of a decision. But like, if you don't like your boss, that doesn't mean you can just quit your job necessarily, or that you should. You see? But I feel like a lot of times people don't understand you have to like work through conflicts. We're taught, or I don't know if we're taught this, but at least by social media algorithms, I guess, you're taught to just like block or just not ever deal with something uncomfortable, or not ever like deal with friction or conflict, like within relationships or within work situations. Like, conflict is a part of life. It is a part of life. That's why we have things like compromise. That's why we have things like managing that conflict, which we should know as adults. Anyways, I went on for quite a rant with that, but that just really irritated me. Okay. One reason queers might not be interested in your Pilates classes: you keep advertising that Pilates creates long and lean muscles, but queers for survivals are experts at reading between the lines. Like, long and lean muscles are not a thing. This has no scientific meaning. This is thinly cloaked code for skinny. Queers don't like being gaslit. Queers don't like body shaming. Seems like a lot do like both of those things, but okay. Queers also know all too well that keeping us consumed with journeying towards skinniness is a means of mental and physical control. And queers know that achieving skinniness stops us from effectively joining protests and acts of disruption. Oh my God. A practice that values exploration over perfection, taking up space over self-minimization, adaptation over rigidity. Make your own class if you want, and then nobody will want to go because it sounds dumb. You're going to a class to get a result, like to get an achievement. This is just crazy. Just say you don't want to go to the class. Like, what is this? What is wrong with people? I am so irritated with this stuff. Gosh. Or if you want to go, then just go. But either way, shut up. That's how I feel about it. I'm like, shut up and go or don't go. Make a fucking decision. Drives me nuts. How about that? How about I start that? I'm going to start that talking point. Queers don't want to make a decision. So that's a whole other conversation that I don't want to get into, but that's a talking point. I could be like, that one's true. Make a fucking decision. Go to the class or don't. Either way, shut up about it, because I'm not interested. Oh my gosh. Education over harmful mythology, community over gatekeeping, autonomy over conformity, safety over politeness. What? What the hell does that even mean? Queerness all year round. Okay. Saying you had to develop a personality isn't really a flex when said personality is still deeply rancid and superficial. I like that. Where's that post that's like, thank God I got fat and had to develop a personality? Anyway, thank God I got fat and had to develop a personality. Then people don't have personalities, you guys. It's dehumanizing thinness, dehumanizing thin people. So, all right. I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm too auntie for this. I really am. I'm realizing that as time goes on. I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.